Today, considering it is 7 below zero in Livingston, Montana right now with deep snow, I thought it'd be good to visit summer, see if it'll warm me up a little bit. Got 2 space heaters going in here because my studio just won't stay warm. What I want to look at here, I know the first 2 flat plane color exercises that I did from oil paintings. So I wanted to dig out a pastel and work from that. This is a plein air pastel that I did on location probably 5 or 6 years ago. It's one that I've always liked, but it's not quite there. You know, it's just, there's an idea in there somewhere and just waiting to be unlocked. And so sometimes it's good to take out a study like this and just play around, you know, like what can I do? Can I make it more about the sky, or can I make it more about the land, or emphasize some area? The light on this one is fairly diffuse. It's the sun was coming in and out, so it's, you know, it's more on the overcast direction. You can see that the light on the trees is fairly cool, like creamy. And there aren't strong shadows, so it's, you know, there's not a strong directional light here. What I would like to do and what I want to experiment with and try here is to see what happens if I zoom in more on this area, as though I had walked across the field and was standing maybe somewhere in here. And just, you know, build an idea off of that. So essentially, in some ways, this is going to be like a sketchbook. I did do a little quick scribble, and I don't know if this is exactly the direction I'm going to go, but just, you know, 5-minute scribble with where I think this could go. You know, more you are in it, kind of a composition. So we shall see if that all works. Okay, it's just checking everything. So rather than draw in this time, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna try to mass in. So massing in is just using the side and really just building the forms. And I'm gonna do that, you know, fairly organically and see if that gets me an interesting enough dynamic here. So when I'm going to mass in, and this is a good exercise, it'll make you feel maybe a little bit, put it this way, it feels a little unsure at first because we're so used to working in line. But this can be really nice because you're building the form. It's almost like you're sculpting out these shapes, which can be a lot of fun. So I'm kind of working off of this idea here. So I think I'm using this really as a jumping off point. So this is, again, we're dealing with averages here. So it's a dark upright shape. This is going to be the most forward one, so maybe about to there. And then there's just going to be these trees in the back. I'll get a little bit more variety than I have right here. Now, if you're going to do, you know, a full picture here, there's going to be a shift between this dark and this dark. There's going to be a darker darks, lighter lights, brighter color in that foreground tree. You know, unless somehow you have dappled light and these are in light and this is in shade, but everything being the same, like say everything being light in light or everything being, you know, overcast, you would have greater contrast in that foreground tree, and that would be what brings it forward. So what I want to do here, I think, what I want to be careful with is if I do my tree here, my second tree here, is that the same? So this is a compositional element here. So that's about just over 2 inches to the center of that one. That is 1.5 inches. It's getting a little bit close. So let me think about that. So you don't want the same if they're fairly strong dominant forms. My apologies. Forgot to turn my ringer off. We'll keep that rolling. So I think that'll work. So this is my main relationship here. So 2 and 1 and 2. You don't want 2 and 2. I'm going to look for odd numbers here. Okay, so there's my first color. Okay, next let's go with ground plane. It's fairly similar. It's maybe a little darker. We'll see. You know, a little bit, just want to make sure these aren't the same here and here. So you don't want to have, again, going back to compositional elements, you have about 1.5 inch. So that's getting close to inch and an inch here. So I can go either bigger or smaller. If you want the idea of shelter, maybe there could be a little bigger there, maybe. Sometimes the answer in a compositional question is, if you're saying should it be bigger or smaller, the answer is yes. What I mean by that is just simply it can go either way. It just will create a different dynamic. So what you have happen in this I want to say it was probably late July. In Montana, things are drying out. We have a fairly brief season of green in Montana. By the end of July, the fields, the drier ones, the ones that aren't irrigated, they start to turn golden. So you get these interesting quilt patterns because, certain fields are irrigated or they're near a river. Oh, I forgot to, sorry, I need to put your colors in here. Okay, that's 2. And then here is what I got for the ground for that golden field. Okay, as my hands get, really dusty, take a towel, just wipe them off just to keep the color clean. So I can use, again, I think about the negative and the positive together. So this being the positive, this being the negative. So that's or figure ground is another way to put it. And you're going to get more interesting shapes and a more dynamic composition if you use that figured ground together. So one can really inform the other. Again, you want to make sure that your pastel is staying clean. So sometimes if I get, this one's not doing too badly, but if you get some of the dark of the tree onto that blue, you can just wipe your pastel, make sure it stays clean. See, I'm just basically taking this idea and imagining what it would be like if I walked up right up to that field. You can see I got a little bit of that green in there. Keep that blue really clean. Okay, and one of the things I want to check right now, this is, again, taking the ruler out. This is a little bit under 10. This is 9.5. 4.5. It's close to center, but not quite. So it's okay. But I might end up moving that just a little bit because I don't want this just quite dead center, but it can be pretty close because this is about like moving in. It's radiating in. Okay. Okay, so there's your mountain color. And just as a reminder, the idea here is that you have, these are all like, if you had colored pieces of paper and you're going to cut out these shapes, and you're limited to colors that a limited number of colors. So one of the things that's tricky in a lot of the Montana mountains, including the mountains that I paint a lot, the Absarokas, or the Absarokas, depending on who you ask. They have these dry foothills. Can't wait till it warms up just enough for me to get back outside painting, because see how noticeable that is. I'll have to work on that. I love painting outside in winter. I know I'm a little crazy that way. Okay, so doing this with as few colors as I can, at least to start. So there's your foothills. And then there's not a lot of room for this, so I'm just going to get a little bit of cloud action in there. Actually, let's see.